The rain had been falling non-stop since dawn, washing the city streets in a dull gray sadness, when a young girl named Alina stood trembling outside the towering glass gates of a billionaire's mansion, her arms shaking as she clutched her tiny baby wrapped in a thin, worn blanket, her eyes hollow from exhaustion and nights without sleep, because hunger does that, it steals strength, dignity, and hope all at once. She was barely 20, with clothes soaked through and shoes splitting at the seams, yet she had walked for hours because there was nowhere else left to go, no doors that hadn't already slammed shut in her face. Her baby whimpered softly, too weak even to cry properly, and that sound shattered what little courage she had left. Alina rang the bell once, hesitated, then rang it again, whispering a prayer she wasn't sure anyone was listening to. The gates slowly opened, revealing a sharply dressed man stepping out beneath an umbrella, his posture stiff, his expression unreadable. This was Victor Hale, the billionaire everyone knew, the man whose name was etched into skyscrapers and whispered in boardrooms, a man rumored to have everything except a heart. "You shouldn't be here," he said flatly, already turning away, when Alina suddenly stepped forward, her voice breaking as she said, "Please, just listen." Victor paused, annoyed, but something in her tone made him glance back. Before he could stop her, Alina gently placed the baby into his arms. The warmth startled him. The weight was unexpected. "Please," she said through tears, dropping to her knees on the cold stone ground, "just hold him for 1 minute. That's all I ask. 1 minute before you decide." Victor froze. He had negotiated billion-dollar deals without blinking, fired executives without remorse, yet now he stood there, unsure how to hold a fragile life that depended entirely on him. The baby's tiny fingers curled around his finger, and in that moment, something cracked deep inside Victor, a memory he had buried for decades. He remembered being a child himself, hungry, cold, invisible, clutching his baby sister as their mother collapsed from exhaustion on a factory floor, a memory he had locked away behind success and money. Alina spoke quickly, afraid he would hand the baby back. She told him how her parents had died, how the shelters were full, how employers saw her baby as a burden, how she had gone 2 days without eating so her child could have the last piece of bread. "I'm not asking you to keep him," she sobbed. "I'm asking you to save him." Victor's throat tightened. He looked down at the baby's pale face and realized this child didn't need a miracle, he needed compassion. Without a word, Victor gestured for his staff to bring towels, warm milk, and a doctor. Alina collapsed in disbelief as the gates she had expected to shut forever now opened wider than she imagined. Inside the mansion, warmth replaced cold, light replaced darkness, and silence replaced fear. The doctor confirmed what Victor already felt, another day without food could have been fatal. As Alina fed her baby, tears streaming down her face, Victor watched quietly, his mind racing. He thought about the millions he had spent on luxuries that never filled the emptiness inside him, and here sat a girl who had nothing yet gave everything for her child. That night, Victor couldn't sleep. He stood by the guest room door listening to the baby breathe, realizing how close the world had come to losing an innocent life simply because no one stopped to care. The next morning, Victor made a decision that stunned his entire company. He funded a permanent home for Alina, education, healthcare, and something even more powerful, a foundation dedicated to helping single mothers and hungry children, named after the baby he had held for only 1 minute yet changed him forever. Alina didn't become rich overnight, but she became safe, hopeful, and strong. Months later, when reporters asked Victor why he had changed so suddenly, he answered quietly, "Because one desperate girl trusted me with her whole world." And as the story spread across the globe, millions were reminded that compassion is the real measure of wealth, that one act of kindness can rewrite destinies, and that sometimes, the smallest hands can awaken the biggest hearts. If this story moved you, if you believe kindness still matters in a world that often forgets, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because every story here carries a message that could change the way you see life, and maybe, the way you change someone else's.